What's up, what's up? So for any brand looking to do direct-to-consumer in CPG, I think Nespresso is an interesting thing to look at. Now, for any brand wanting to do Amazon right through CPG, direct-to-consumer, I think Nespresso is not an interesting brand to look at. Do you want to know why? I'm going to give you 3 things that they're not doing that they should be doing and what you can learn from that if you have your own CPG. Let's transition over and get into it. All right, so we've got Nespresso on Amazon. And if we run a Jungle Scout scrape of this, you can see there is substantial sales data behind it. Now, these are estimates, right? But looking at the calculations, there's probably about $1 to $1.5 million of sales of their product a month. Now, if we go back to Nespresso's pretty site, Nespresso is a product. They make these little pod things, right? That you order the machine and then you've got to rebuy these things. And they've got Nespresso stores set up all over where you can buy them. Now, what ultimately happens is there's enough demand for a product, it will leak at some point onto Amazon for the most part, unless they've got complete control over their brand on Amazon. So they've got something behind the scenes with Amazon, which it doesn't appear that they do. So if we jump over, back to that scrape, a lot of sales happening here on Amazon. Why is it important for Nespresso, right? They want to build out their brand. There's a trade-off when you sell through Amazon, right? Amazon's going to get your customers' data. They're going to take a piece of the action. You can't communicate to that customer as much as you want to. I'm going to put this down because it is rattling. So let's click over to the listing. So right here, here's what you got. Let's click into one of them. We've got it right here. Not a very good listing. No images, no content, right? It's not going to drive a lot of sales in theory, right? But the demand of the product is. Now, we go down here to the right, Nespresso compatible espresso capsules by Amazon. Whose do you think are going to be cheaper? Whose are going to get more reviews over time, right? So that's a big threat. Let's jump over to the other listing that was ranking. Coffee pods by Amazon right here, right? These ones aren't going as far as saying that they're Nespresso approved, but Amazon is showcasing them. So the question then comes down to is Nespresso doesn't want their product on Amazon, yet it is there. So in what kind of quantities are there, right? If we know that they're doing millions of dollars a month in sales, we have to assume that they do have pretty good quantities. So fun little hack for everybody. If you come in here and you add all these to your cart, what you can then do is jump over to your cart. So this is just for the 50 pack. This is one of the best sellers. You can then jump over to your cart, come in here, and in the quantity section, instead of having 1, you can put in 999. And then what it'll do is it'll tell you how many units that seller has in stock. Now there's a big asterisk on it. That product has to be stocked at Amazon for them to get an accurate level, right? Because if it's stocked merchant fulfilled, they could just make up that number. So when we add 999 here, we can see that this seller has 409 units of the 50 Nespresso original capsule, right? This one down below, this one actually shows they have 19 in stock. This one shows it's going to be in stock on July 18th, which means there's some coming in. And I wanted to just go out and put this back to 1 because there's cart limitations. And let's go down to this one right here. It says 9 on it. All right, so let's add 999 here. It says the quantities were not updated because your cart doesn't have enough space. So let me zero out this 42. And then let's go back up to here and add our 999, and voila, what do we have? We have 988. So that's all the space they're giving me. So this seller potentially has over 1,000 units of product at Amazon's fulfillment center, which is pretty crazy, which means there's a pretty big leak in here, right? So it begs the question of, well, who are these people leaking the products? And I actually have that in a little spreadsheet over here. I'm going to show it to you in a minute. But I want to tell you guys 3 tips on how you can go about this if you're looking to go direct to consumer. So number 1, Amazon, while it could be your enemy, let's think of it more like a frenemy. You need to be there because if you're not going to be there, somebody else is going to be there for you. So in this case, Nespresso's already selling direct to consumer. So I don't think it would be too crazy of a pitch to say, all right, they're going to set up a direct to consumer Amazon store, the Nespresso storefront. I think that would benefit them immensely, right? They may not be set up for that. If they're not set up for that from, like, say, a tax standpoint, from an infrastructure standpoint, find a third-party partner that can do that for you. Number 2, think about doing exclusive bundles in that storefront, right? Look at what's selling well in your store and maybe keep it there. Do unique bundles within Amazon. That allows you to differentiate. It allows you to not potentially cut in as much into your brick and mortar stores and keep sort of a level playing field. And differentiate between Amazon and your Nespresso.com site. Again, it's going to allow them to differentiate. All right, and the last thing is it's all about control, right? $1 million of sales in a month might sound like a lot to some people, but it's not probably compared to what Nespresso does through all their channels. So ultimately, it's control, right? And this is a nuisance. This is that thing that looks so annoying that when somebody says, oh, I'm just gonna go buy it on Amazon, let me search for Nespresso, and look at it here, like terrible image. There's no accountability to, you know, who's getting these products to the people, what the product looks like. There's no follow-up. There's not, you know, the bullets, like it's just not consistent, right? So this is more of a brand play and less of a sales play. All right, the last thing I said I was gonna share with you, who are those sellers? Nespresso, Abracadabra, Presto Nespresso. That's my Monday Punday. Here you go. I did some digging for you. Here are your sellers that are selling those products in the big quantities. JPI Products, Jagged Product Inc. out of Florida. Coffee sellers out of, I think it's Belarus. Are these made in Belarus? I didn't even look. Angola? No. I don't know where these are made. That was not good TV, I know. All right, we've got Pure Achu in Korea, Karam Coffee in Great Britain. That one's going to an apartment. All right, that's all I got. Would love to hear your thoughts. If you guys have examples of other D2C plays here that are crushing it and doing it right, I would love to hear from you. Have a wonderful day. Shaka!